Dance classes, jujitsu, couple of dates, a new ADHD presentation that I had to prep, and by Friday, I hit the wall. I was supposed to go on a date, and in fact, because I like to make my commitments mean something, I ended up going on it. And from the moment I started driving and then saw her approaching to the very last part of the evening, all I could think of is I want to be anywhere else that is not here. Not because she wasn't a lovely human, but because I had hit the wall and was splattered somewhere in the gooey mess of my life. And the thing is, it's my fault. I had programmed far too many things into my week. It's important to live busy lives where you're doing things that are productive, but it's not productive to continually beat yourself into submission because you think you need to get everything done. The cost of overbusying yourself include a lot of things, such as not achieving what you want because you are consistently overcommitting and not delivering products that are helpful. Lost productivity because your mind is thinking about 1,000 different things you could do. You aren't focused on the job at hand. This also leaves projects left undone. In my own life, you can see the places of projects that have begun, that have started somewhere in the middle, and I got distracted. This also could be things like impulsive spending, particularly when you're stressed. It's so easy to buy now on Amazon and makes it feel like you're doing something, when in fact you're only just adding more stress because you have to then pay for it. This also could be relationship things. So, like I was, checked out on dates or checked out with the people that you care about. I mean, you're more irritable with other folks for no reason. Just a sense of disconnection from yourself and from others. And let's be honest, when you're dysregulated, you're often less attracted to the people that are important in your life, and they're less attracted to you. There's also a personal cost. You feel guilt and shame because there's an identity collapse. I know the man I should be, and I'm not being him right now. And you combine that with the social pressure to provide, to do it all, to perform, to protect. You can't show weakness in it. It's just a lot. And it's something that we're not meant to hold on to. And here's the thing, we can do something different. So mental exhaustion occurs with men, particularly men with neurodivergence or ADHD, when we combine environmental stress and our neurological wire. For those who are ADHD, when we have impaired executive functioning, that increases your emotional impulsivity as well as your sensitivity to stress. The world is constantly bombarding us with stimuli, and we're having to figure out what's important. And when we don't have the executive functioning to put everything together, it makes it harder to adapt and not know what's important. And our worlds are chaotic. And if we're having to do this all the time, it's not possible. And let's be honest, the world as it is has made all people, regardless of your neurodivergent status, have reduced executive functioning. It's literally the world that tech billionaires are trying to create. So men in particular have been selected to have fast reactivity. We have to be able to see the dangerous thing in the environment and take it down. find the bit of prey that we need to go to collect, and so that we actually had meat on the table for dinner. So our systems are automatically more reactive. Additionally, there's cultural norms against seeking support. So despite a lot of lip service online, there's a lot of taboos about getting support. Even when our partners say, hey, you can talk to us. If we're dysregulated and we're not handling the problem, we look less attractive in their eyes. So that makes us overall more reactive and less resilient. So here's what we're going to do today. We're going to break down what's happening, why most men fail, and start creating a path forward. So, some mechanisms behind our exhaustion. We have executive function deficits, whether those be neurological, because we have something like ADHD, or because we live in the world that we are in. When this happens, we struggle to prioritize and adapt to the world around us, which leads to higher overload. We're tired, we're frustrated, and we don't know what thing to do next. The thing that helps us stay on target is called a salience network. And when it's hyperactivated, we're constantly getting false alarms. This is important. No, this is important. This is important, which just drains your energy over time. We combine that with emotional impulsivity. When we're tired or stressed, or the neurodivergence, stress hits harder and takes longer to recover. Men in particular struggle with the way we have evolved, and given our modern overstimulation that's everywhere, we tend to find this in new places. You combine this with the multiple stacked roles that we have: provider, partner, performer, perfectionist, and we're going to collapse. All right, so here's the key things that we do that actually contributes to this stress, and things that we can change. Rapid context switching. So when we're shifting between roles, partner, performer, new jiu-jitsu player, all within a short amount of time, that adds additional tax within our brain. Remember, your phones and computers make us feel like we can do all these things at once? We can't, and we shouldn't. The more we try to multitask, our focus gets fragmented, and we feel more stressed out and tired. Combine that with sensory overload, and we are going to be exhausted in no time flat. Additionally, many of us have always-on work expectations. I've got to be on call tonight. The boss is expecting me to be available at 9 p.m. when he has a question. We also have relationship expectations. We're supposed to be stable and attractive. We're supposed to be emotionally available, but not unhinged and not handling what we're dealing with. Combine that with just the stack of other expectations, the world violence as it is, limited peer support, and the world's just chaotic right now. And we're trying to figure it out. So we fail here because we're trying to juggle too many plates. There's two major traps. We try to cram it all in, which leads to burnout, or we quit early due to collapse and shame. Or some people try to rely on their partner to hold it, but we can't expect that, and that's not what they signed up for. And we haven't really learned to lean on other men. Everyone is stressed. It's universal. But you combine that with the wiring that many of us have and norms of what it means to be a man, create some unique vulnerabilities in how stress is processed. And I know we're just told to toughen up and discipline harder. And while discipline absolutely helps, without understanding your wiring, you're trying to fight a Ferrari engine with bicycle brakes. You need structure along with awareness. That's going to beat brute force. Many people will say men have had it well for a long time. They don't need any special groups. Unfortunately, I don't believe that this is a zero-sum game. And evidence shows that male-only support fosters vulnerability and accountability. Men are less likely to open up otherwise. Cultural scripts drain your energy, not just laziness. Our wiring and masculine framing can increase stress and fatigue. Evidence-based practices can rewire stress. Things like exercise, mindfulness, adaptive environment, having community of like-minded people, all can help change. You don't have to live exhausted, disconnected, and shamed lives. And let's be honest, the world's not going to slow down, but you can learn to lead yourself in it. Start with awareness, set boundaries, build consistently. And most importantly, find community. Find men who can hold you accountable to the man that you want to be. If you don't have that, reach out to someone else you trust. Just don't do it alone.